Dallas Children's Theater, in my opinion, is just one of the most magical places on earth, mainly because we have the burden and the grand opportunity of bringing literature to life for so many young people. So we are Dallas Children's Theater, but we are mostly an entity that produces programming using professional actors and actresses that we present to children and families all across the country. Now, we also have an academy program that's a class-based instruction for theater classes and whatnot, and we also go out into the community and present in places like Clyde Warren Park, or actually in schools working with teachers as well to help make curriculum more of a thing that is like the ABCs that you don't forget. So we use the theater techniques to embed that in children.
How did it start? And at one point you were using El Centro College, but let's go back to the beginning. How did it get launched?
Well, in 1984, Robin Flatt, who was at that time just transitioning from a role at Dallas Theater Center, where in large part she was working with the Parks and Rec programs and recognizing that there was not a great outlet for children and families as theater entertainment was concerned, and seeing just how the children responded to it in the Parks and Rec programs, and her own passion for young people and getting exposed to theater early in their lives led her with $500 to start this venture, and working with a lot of wonderful board members who bought on to her mission. At this point, 32 years later, here we are.
And her own provenance is pretty solid when it comes to doing theater work.
Well, we say we're from a theater royalty family. Paul Baker, who founded Booker T. Washington as well as Dallas Theater Center, is her dad. So she is Robin Baker Flatt. and yes, to be sure, we like to say when we do theater, it is Disney-esque. It's Broadway-like because, as she lovingly says, it's not sheets and crayons for kids. We are bringing it to life in the way they would see it through their own eyes.
And you mentioned that it is professional actors, and that's an interesting point.
And the thing about it is we're using the same actors in many cases that you're seeing on all of the other professional stages here in the area, and we're quite proud of that. And we're also quite proud of the fact that actors generally express a wonderful sentiment about their experience here. I mean, who could deny the smiles on the faces of little kids when you're an equity actor dressed as a mouse and the child is absolutely in love with you?
Let's talk about the play selection, and we'll mention that people obviously can go online and check for this season, and they can check on tickets and things like that. But when it comes to putting a season together, how does DCT manage that?
Our artistic team, which is Robin Flatt, Artie Olason, Nancy Schaefer, are very committed to putting together a season of plays each year that really resonates and meets whatever current needs are out there. And so it's a combination, as you said, of material that might be out there that would be appealing from a new audience building opportunity to something that is issues-based. For example, The Teen Brain, the musical, is a play that was written by our own playwright and artist, Linda Doherty here, and she is of royalty too. Her son is Evan Doherty, who has produced has been a scriptwriter for a number of plays, a number of movies now, and so Teen Brain came out of an observation that people didn't really understand the science behind the fact that a teen brain is not developed. And so it's really until 25 that we can make sound decisions. And so trying to help parents understand what's going on in their teen mind, and yet creating a play that was also interesting, is something that DCT, I think, does very well. So you look at issues, you look at what's out there, you look at what you can license, you look at our age audience and sort of where they are and what they might not know about. For example, we brought Jackie Robinson last year because we wanted to make sure people understood it. At the time when it was selected, who knew that it would also have other meanings when you looked at the backdrop of all of the controversy associated with some of the recent law enforcement / just general public issues going on, and discrimination and character and the discipline of not reacting or overreacting. Who knew it would have that kind of resonance as well? But oftentimes we find that our season ends up playing out life that way.
Is the season, let me rephrase that. Are any of the shows tied in with the curriculum with any of the school districts in the area?
Yes, we that is a factor in what we choose. And so oftentimes these are books, for example, Jackie Robinson books that they are reading at a certain grade level, or books that are in the school. For example, Frog and Toad is a show that we're going to be doing this year, and that is read in the schools. So we do focus on what might resonate with our school audiences as well.
And you have really two levels, don't you? Because you're playing to two different audiences. I know you have the big theater where it tends to be mostly the shows for the younger generation, and then you also do, in the other space that you have, some shows that tend to be more teen-oriented and or maybe a little heavier.
Yeah, so we like the smaller space for more intimate conversations and what we call tough topics.
Okay.
So, we did Teen Brain in there. I mentioned that one already. We did Secret Lives of Girls, which was all about girl bullying. And, it was amazing how many parents didn't really realize that this kind of world existed out there and that their children needed to be prepped for that. This year, we're going to do another amazing production written by Linda called Don't You Love Me? And it's all about teen dating violence. And so, again, another relevant and a topic that even our mayor has spent a lot of time talking about and the city of Dallas focused on. We do those in the smaller theaters because after the show, we are committed to bringing experts in who can have a conversation around that topic so that we don't leave people with questions or without the knowledge that there are support systems for these kinds of things.
DCT, Dallas Children's Theater, for many years used space at El Centro College in downtown Dallas, and you're now in what used to be a bowling alley. How did that come to be?
Well, as I said, there got to be a point. We are incredibly grateful to Caroline Rose Hunt, who for so many years let us occupy office space in some of their properties at the Crescent Center, and literally said when Robin went to her looking for an opportunity, okay, you can be in there temporarily. Well, that turned into 15 years. And at a certain point, she and the family decided they wanted to sell that space, and so that was when we were notified that we needed to find space elsewhere. Fortunately, at the time, this space became available, and as I said, we had a committed board of folk really willing to work with Robin to bring this vision she had to life. And what a great vision it is. We are one of the few top 10 cities that has an entity solely dedicated 365 days a year to children and families. And we also are known internationally because of the tour that goes out every year and takes a play to places like Joplin, Missouri, which may not have these kinds of resources, and children might not ever get to see theater like this were it not for a touring company like Dallas Children's Theater. So we kind of span the globe now.
If people want to help you, what's the website and what are the things that you're looking for? Obviously, donations are accepted by any good theater.
Yes.
But how else can people help?
We are definitely a nonprofit organization, so we rely on funds to keep our tickets and our class fees affordable and accessible. Our top price here is $30. We do bring in shows like the circus where we charge a little bit more as a part of that partnership, but the reality is 60% is only 60% is covered by what people pay when they come here. The other 40% is donations. You can go to DCT.org. There are a number of opportunities. We are participating in some of the local fundraising events such as Giving Day, and so we more than encourage people to call in and learn more about how they can support us, as well as companies. Remember that we are, as our wonderful sponsor, Texas Instruments, refers to us, the front door to children being exposed to theater. And so we want to do that for generations to come, and we do need the community's help to make that happen.
And once again, the website?
Dallas Children's Theater is at DCT.org.